If you don't work in an AI lab or if you're not helping to add AI features into a product offering, I have a question for you. How important are having up-to-date AI skills to your profession? Well, I'd argue that AI skills are essential basically for every profession there is, because we're moving from having a bunch of tasks that a human has to do to, in fact, instead moving to a stage where tasks are actually just managed by humans, and then intelligent systems are helping as well. So that means that every worker, regardless of job function, they need AI literacy and AI fluency. Now, why is that, and how do you build those skills when AI is moving so rapidly? Well, I'm fortunate to have Justina Nixon-Saintil, Vice President and Chief Impact Officer, with me to help answer these questions. So, Justina, let me start by asking, what's the impact of the global skills gap? So that's a gap that's kind of widening as traditional education tries to keep pace with technological evolution.
Well, absolutely. I mean, without AI literacy and the tools that are needed to be successful in an AI economy, the digital divide becomes an economic divide, and the stakes are too high to let that happen. So it's really important that we look at what are the right skill sets that people have, what are the right tools that they need so that we can close that global skills gap. And that will really depend on how developers and workers have the tools to thrive in an AI economy. So we really have a huge focus on skills first, right? What are the skills that you're going to need? Because the pipelines of talent that traditional hiring misses is really dependent on new skills. So having an AI credential really makes a difference these days.
Right. I guess we could argue that it's almost an expectation at this point that employees have this sort of ability to be able to use these skills and to apply these tools, right?
100%. Employers today expect candidates who can think critically, who have AI tools and skill sets, who can adapt quickly, and who can really deliver increased productivity and outcomes.
Okay, so I already mentioned that if your day job doesn't explicitly involve working with AI, the chances are you're still going to need to be AI literate anyway, right? But really, why is that? If I'm not actually developing an AI application, do I really need those skills and tools?
Yes, you do, because with AI, every field is becoming a tech field. AI is being deployed across every industry, every job role. So it's extremely important to have that AI fluency to be able to be successful in your role. According to the World Economic Forum, 39% of current skills may be outdated within 5 years. 39%. So when you look at that data and you add the fact that AI is deploying at an accelerated rate, then you have many people who will have outdated skills to be successful when AI is deployed across the board.
That is a pretty terrifying thought, that over a third of skills in 5 years are going to be outdated. Like, I hope that lightboard pen writing skills are not going to be on that list.
They will absolutely be on the list.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about it, we're all becoming managers of AI agents, and we need to learn how to work with AI agents as well and collaborate with them. So it's extremely important that we understand how to guide and oversee AI, not just operate it.
Now, I work in technical education, and a core belief in my profession is that we are all lifelong learners. If you're not learning new skills, you're falling behind, which is a sentiment really you've already shared. And to me, that's never really been more true than in an AI first world. But, then as an educator putting out AI videos on YouTube, probably would say that. But is that a sentiment you'd share, Justina?
Absolutely. In an AI first world, the half-life of a skill is measured in months, not years, which is why it's so important to continuously learn and understand new technologies like AI. AI literacy, AI ethics, and governance are now must-have leadership skills.
Okay, so we could really think of those as 3 points in a triangle, right?
Yes, we can. And then if you think about it, those 3 points in a triangle, those three types of skill sets are connected to human ingenuity. And that has always driven innovation and continuous learning. And that leads to unlocking new opportunities in the AI era.
Okay, I love statistics. So have you got any stats for me that actually back that up?
Yeah, so the AI Workforce Consortium found that 78% of ICT jobs require AI-related skills. And that's also in non-technical fields like HR, like marketing and legal.
Okay, so that backs up the point we're saying that I'm not an AI developer. What do I need to know AI for? 78% of jobs need some kind of skill there.
And that's 78% of jobs in different types of roles. So it's not just in technical roles. Going back to what I shared earlier, these are roles across every function in a business.
Right. Okay. So I'd like to open this up a bit and ask you about the sorts of opportunities that AI-driven skills offer. So in terms of, I think, meaningful work, but also in terms of the impact that those can have on communities worldwide.
Yeah, so when people have skills, they have jobs. And when they have jobs, they build healthy economies. And those healthy economies build strong and resilient communities.
That makes sense. And now I've heard a term, maybe you can help me define it. I think it's called a skills first pathway. What does that actually mean?
Skills first means that we lean on the expertise, the experience that people have, including credentials that they may obtain, instead of just looking at traditional higher education opportunities. Now, skills first could go along with a higher education degree, but it doesn't have to be. And having a skills first focus really opens up opportunities to everyone in the economy, not just a few. So when we think about AI training, we have to expand it to all different types of institutions. So not just a corporate entity, but we're looking at community colleges, we're looking at universities, we're looking at nonprofit partners, and we're looking at the public workforce systems as well.
All right, so let's finish up by getting a bit more practical. Like, how can I, as a learner, build skills in AI? Other than watching videos on the IBM YouTube channel, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyway, what other resources and platforms are there for AI education and training that you could recommend?
There are many resources available for people who want to develop their AI skills. For example, through IBM Skills Build, we've made a commitment to skill 30 million people by 2030. And through IBM Skills Build, we give access to free content and free training around AI and other topics. And learners can earn market-recognized credentials that they can use that are both relevant and resilient.
Yeah, you can find a couple of my AI courses on there actually. So yeah, check them out. Just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. And because every industry is going to be transformed by AI, that will always be essential, having those AI credentials. And what's most important, however, is to make sure people understand that curiosity and personal commitment to continuous lifelong learning is always going to be important to be successful in any career.
Yeah, I think it could be not any more important than it is with AI, right? That because of the rate of change, it's not like I've learned AI, now I'm done. It's always something new to learn.
It is always something new to learn, and it's evolving so quickly. So it's important that people stay on top of the latest information, the latest training around AI. And then when you really think about it, when AI is built, not just for communities, but we're built with people who have the skills in its development, in the technology, then you really have what's called a sustainable and future-ready economy.
I think that's such a positive message to end on, that I think we've really sort of established that AI skills, they are important for all of us, no matter what we do, and that it makes a big difference to us personally, but also as a community as well, that we can work together because of that.
100%. I mean, skills are really the currency of an AI economy. So it's so important to remember lifelong learning, continuous learning, and make sure everyone continues to build on their AI skills.
Justina, thanks so much.
Thank you.